Hey, Ronnie here from Four Wheeling in Western Australia. In this video, we're going to cover front locker versus rear locker. If you haven't seen the previous video that I did on the lockers, there's a link down below in the description. So check that out. I'll tell you all the benefits with lockers, when to use them, when not to use them, etc, etc. But this video is purely just my opinion on why I pick a certain locker over the other one, which we'll find out in a minute. Subscribers, welcome back. To my first time viewers, g'day, I'm Ronnie from fourwheeling in westernaustralia.com, the four-wheel drive and camping information website that pretty much has everything covered in regards to four-wheel driving and camping. Righto, so here we are, front locker versus rear locker. So why do you need to know this? Well, if you can only afford to buy one locker, or you can only justify buying one locker, then this information will help you spend the right dollars in the right area of your vehicle. Obviously, having both lockers is just supreme, you can't beat that. But if you only are going to get one, then here we go. Now, I used to have a Hilux, and when I first put a locker in that, I only had a front locker. And then later, I changed to front and rear. When I had the front locker only, I used it fairly often when I got stuck. But when I had front and rear locker, I found that I always use rear locker, I rarely use front locker. And therefore, my choice is rear locker over front locker. Now, obviously, having a front locker is still bloody great, but the rear one is better, in my opinion. The rear one is far more worth getting than the front one. So here are my top reasons why I picked the rear locker over the front locker. The weight of your vehicle is almost always at the rear. When going up a hill, the weight's on the rear. So when going down a hill, yeah, fair enough, the weight's not on the rear, but it's mostly on the rear. Going up a hill with a turn, you have to switch the front locker off and switch it back on. You can in most cases just rely on the rear locker when you go up a hill with a turn. You can leave the rear locker on because it's not going to affect your turning. Okay, it will affect your turning if you're turning just around corners, tight corners on a track, but the front locker will be a lot worse than the rear anyway. Going down a hill, you can use your rear locker to help keep the vehicle straight, so it helps prevent it from sliding sideways. Whereas the front locker, it's not going to help you at all, it's probably going to make it worse. The rear locker is far cheaper to install than it is on a front locker on an IFS vehicle. Now, on a solid axle vehicle, the price is going to be about the same. It's the same amount of labour, etc. But on an IFS vehicle, it's far more labour intensive to put it in the front due to the way the whole car's put together. Just from my experience, basically, when I go off-roading, I only use the front locker if I'm bogged in sand because I need all four wheels working, or going up a hill with just the rear locker is not enough. Okay, then I'll switch the front locker on. That might happen 10% of the time. So I rely on the rear most of the time. So therefore, in my very strong opinion, if you're only going to get one locker, just go for the bloody rear. Don't listen to what everyone else says. You know, because the old argument with, well, if you put a front locker in, you still got your rear LSD, limited slip differential, limited slip differential. It's still going to slip. It will slip. When the going gets tough, that LSD is not going to do anything for you. The front locker will work for you, but remember, you can't use it on turns, etc. Just get a rear locker, you're far better off. Well, I hope I've saved some pennies for you to make the right choice in your locker. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say, like your opinions. So please comment down below, and you can subscribe right there. And tell me what you think. Do you agree that the rear locker is more important than the front locker, or the other way around? I'm curious to know what you guys have to say about it. Thanks for watching. Take care out in the tracks and trails. See ya.